Well, they certainly do make it look easy on film, don't they? But you and I both know that it really isn't that easy. Hunters like you and I need all the help we can get. First of all, if you're going to be a good hunter, you have to practice. And anything you do in life, you have to practice. If you want to be a football player, you got to practice. You want to be a good hunter, you have to practice. Second of all, you got to have the skill. You don't have to be an all-world kind of guy, but you have to have some skill. You have to also have a little desire. You got to want to be a good hunter. You know, you got to want to be a good football, but you got to want to be a good hunter. And then thirdly, and sometimes we totally forget about this. I know I did as a player. I hope we don't as hunters. You got to have the right equipment. Now, once you get this equipment, the most important thing is you've got to learn how to use it to its maximum. Otherwise, you might as well just be shooting in the dark. That's why Loggy Bayou has put together this video to help you become a safer and better hunter by knowing how to use your Loggy Bayou tree stand to its fullest maximum potential.
There is just nothing like getting in the great outdoors, setting up for the sport that we all enjoy. But even more important than getting a great hunt is being one-on-one with nature. And when it comes to tree stands, you don't want to lug a big, heavy, awkward, hard-to-set-up tree stand into the woods. Well, congratulations. You've just bought the best tree stand money can buy, the Loggy Bayou tree stand. And let me tell you why, for 3 reasons. First of all, it's lightweight. You can carry this thing in the woods all day long. Number 2, it is sturdy. It is going to hold you all through your hunt. And number 3, it's versatile. Whether you're a bow hunter or whether you're a gun hunter, you can use the Loggy Bayou tree stand as a climbing stand or a hang-on stand. And for those reasons, the Loggy Bayou tree stand will give you one successful hunt. Since opening day is not the time to learn about your Loggy Bayou tree stand, I want to take a couple of minutes right now and acquaint you with some of the features of your Loggy Bayou tree stand. After you've got it all put together and set up, I want you to check and make sure it looks exactly like this. If for some odd reason it doesn't, what I want you to do is stop tape, go back and look at the directions again, and make sure you've got all the parts together like this. There's some important things we're going to talk about on your Loggy Bayou tree stand today. First of all, the heel straps right here. Then the base, the seat. Let me turn this around. The button springs on the seat. We're going to talk about these a lot. The locking, they're spring-loaded, by the way. The button springs on the seats. Then the braces. The J-hook. Turn it back around here. This is the J-hook. The rope. The flex steel band. And the spring-loaded locking pins. Now, if you're going to use your Loggy Bayou tree stand as a climbing stand, I want you to get one of these optional climbing aids. These things will save you so much time and trouble, and they are just great. Selecting a tree. You get into the woods, you can use pine, you can use hardwoods, but select a tree that when you get the stand set, it will level out at anywhere between 6 and 18 inches. Now, the base can be bigger than that, but where the stand is going to sit in your tree, nice straight one, somewhere between 6 and 18 inches. Once you've done that, let's climb. I just had the seat up to just show you how it should be set up. When you're climbing, that should be down. Let me move the climbing aid out of the way for a minute. Here we go. Let's go up the tree. Take the flex steel band. Here's a couple things. The band guides and the locking pins. That's what we're going to talk about right now. Put one end of the flex steel band into the band guide. I want you to listen for this now. Get the holes lined up. Did you hear that lock in place? Test that. Then take your Loggy Bayou tree stand, put it around the tree, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to get the flex steel band into the band guide, slide it in, and again, we want to listen for it to lock into place, okay? And notice I've got it as an angle, okay? It'll level out as you go up the tree. Next, we've got some more spring-loaded locking pins here on the climbing aid, the optional climbing aid. Put that around the tree. And really, you want this thing snug up against the tree. Not too tight where you can't be comfortable climbing, but tight enough so you can really use it as a climbing aid. Again, the spring-loaded locking pins will lock into place. You put it on the tree and you're ready to go. Put on your fall restraint belt. We're going up the tree. Okay, here's where the fun begins. You're secure against the tree, you're ready to climb. Step onto the stand, put your toes under the bar. Now, don't lean into the tree when you're putting on your heel straps. Lean away from the tree. A natural motion to lean towards the tree disengages the stand, and I'll show you what you use that for in a minute. Lean back to put on your heel straps. All right? Now, anytime you're going to climb, you use the fall restraint belt. I prefer the easy slide clip. That's why we call it that. Put it around your waist. This is probably the best designed buckle in the world. Put the webbing through, cinch it up, then I want you to go back through this way and pull it through. This will tighten up the webbing. Make it nice and secure for you, okay? And you've got your easy slide clip right in front. Take the other part, and that's going to go around the tree. If you're using the easy slide clip, leave that loop for you. Again, we've got another buckle just like we did on the belt. You want it to be snug, but not too tight that you can't slide it up and down the tree easily, okay? Put it out here to the side so you can see. Slide it around the tree. See, I can still slide it up and down. Come through. And then, just like we did on the belt, we're going to go back over the top. Okay? Lock it on. Let's climb. Okay, this is where the magic begins. To me, it's the most fun. You got your fall restraint belt on, you're up against the tree, you got your heel straps on, you got your climbing aid. All right, here's how you do it. Reach down, get your climbing aid. Now what we want to do is move this fall restraint belt up the tree as far as it'll go so you can climb comfortably. And I'm going to give you a little tip. I don't give this to everybody, but since you're here with me today, weight goes on the elbows. What I want you to think about going up the tree is heels. Watch me now. Weight on the elbows, the web seat for support. Toes are pointed out on the Loggy Bayou tree stand. We're going to lift up with our heels, and we're going to inchworm our way up the tree. The deer will never hear you. All right, and we're going to move our fall restraint belt up some more. As far as it'll go. All right. Take your time. I mean, you're out here an hour before first light. Weight again on the elbows. Think heels. Lift up with the heels and inchworm your way up the tree. See how easy it is? Just watch now. Ease that fall restraint belt up as far as it'll go. Okay. Weight on the elbows, toes pointed out on the Loggy Bayou tree stand, and think heels. Once you've reached your desired height, let's set it up so you're ready for the hunt. First thing you do is take your climbing aid. I want you to watch now. I've got this rubber part of the climbing aid and the rubber part of the flex steel band. I'm going to take and twist my foot out of the heel straps there. I'm going to reach around and pick up the seat. All right? At this point, you want to keep your weight in the back part of the stand away from the tree. Listen for the click. This is real important. As we push the seat up, those locking pins are going to click in place. Your channel lock should be against the tree. If this channel is not right up against the tree, see it right here? Reach down around, let me lower my fall restraint belt a little bit. Reach down around to the spring-loaded locking pins and push it against the tree till they lock in again. And you want that thing to lock in, okay? Here's the next thing you do. Take your rope, bring it around the tree, all right? Hook it up to the J-hook. Then take the two ends. We're going to pull on these things. Now, if it's the first time you've taken out your tree stand, you want to work with this rope a little bit, loosen up these ropes. Get all the flex out of them. See how that's moving up against the tree when I pull on it? Get that nice and tight so that channel is really in that tree. Then come around to your J-hook and tighten it up as tight as you can get it. Now, a lot of people will make a mistake here. They'll be leaning out on this part of the stand trying to tighten up that J-hook. Move towards the tree. It's not going anywhere, all right? Because if you're out here, you're raising yourself and the stand. So lean into the tree and really tighten this thing up. Oh, yeah. This is nice, okay? See how sturdy we are? Then you are ready to hunt. At this point, you raise up your weapon, whether it be a bow or a gun. Never, ever climb with your weapon. Where's the coffee? All right, we've had a successful day. It's been a wonderful hunt. We're ready to go to the house. To get out of your Loggy Bayou tree stand and get down to the ground is exactly the opposite of the way that we went up. All right, now watch. I'm going to show you some tricks again as we get down. First thing we're going to do is we're going to unhook the rope. Loosen up your J-bolt, get a little slack in your rope, and unhook that. I always like to wrap up the rope, keeps it out of the way, and put it in the seat here. I told you I was going to show you some tricks. All right, our seat and the braces, we've got the spring-loaded pins. We're going to unlock those, exactly the opposite. We're going to step over and put the seat down. All right, it's in place. Make sure you step through the webbing in your climbing aid. Put your toes under the bar. Don't lead towards a tree. Remember, we're going to lean back away from it. Put the heel straps on. Now, we're ready to bring up our climbing aid. We're going to do exactly the opposite of how we climbed.
Here's some important safety rules to remember. Be sure and read your manual and practice using the stand before hunting season starts. Always wear your fall restraint belt. Always place your stand and get set, then pull up your weapon, whether it be a gun or a bow, and pull it up using a cord. Don't climb with your hunting equipment. Always use a tree, not a wood or metal utility pole. Only allow one person on the Loggy Bayou tree stand at a time. Please don't hunt in icy or wet conditions. It's just not safe and it's not comfortable. Don't use the tree stand during lightning storms. Don't use the tree stand under influence of drugs or alcohol. And whenever possible, do participate in safe hunting courses. If you take care of your Loggy Bayou tree stand, it will give you years of use. If you have any questions about your Loggy Bayou tree stand, please call us at 1-800-544-8733. And happy hunting.
Now that you're familiar with your Loggy Bayou tree stand, hunting will be a safer and more enjoyable experience. Please remember this, that hunting is not a team sport. You and you alone are responsible for your safety as well as your pleasure. Being a responsible hunter by learning how to use your Loggy Bayou tree stand will make you a safer hunter, and you'll have a whole lot more fun.
Okay, I found a great hunting area. And the most frustrating thing to me is having my tree stand dictate where I can hunt from. I mean, after all, if you're like me, you're looking for the deer sign. You want to be right on top of the action. Well, at Loggy Bayou, that's why we make 3 unique and different types of tree stands for different applications. There's the original Loggy Bayou climbing stand. And for you bow hunters, we've got the hang-on light. And you gun hunters are going to love the cheap seat. Come on, let me show you what I'm talking about. You remember the old days? They were such a drag. You would have to drag everything in the woods, whether you had 2x4 ladders, or if you made a tree stand, it was, a big piece of plywood, some hinges, and a motorcycle chain. Well, in the last 50 years, we've come a long way, and in just the last couple of years, there are now tree stands for every application. And at Loggy Bayou, we've got one just for you gun hunters. This is the cheap seat, and it is perfect for gun hunters. Let me show you why. First of all, the seat. It's the perfect height. You can rest your weapon on your knees. It's comfortable all day long. And look at all the area that you have. And it's so lightweight, you can pack it in and pack it out. Now, I've selected this tree, perfect from a cheap seat. I'm going to show you how I'm going to set it up. First thing I'm going to do is just put on a couple of tree steps, 3 or 4. And I think I'm going to put my seat, right about here. Nice script. This'll work. I scouted this area a couple of days ago, saw some nice deer sign and some pretty good-sized deer, but I didn't know what tree I'd be hunting from. That's why I brought this, my Loggy Bayou tree stand, because it's so versatile. I can use it as a hang-on stand or a climbing stand. But there's a fresh deer scrape right there. That's why I'm going up this tree, and I'm going to use it as a climber because I can climb up as high as I want to, and I'll be right over the deer sign. Also, where the platform's going to level out, anywhere between 6 and 18 inches is a perfect size for me. And it's so easy to set up, just takes a couple of minutes. The Loggy Bayou tree stand. It is so versatile. A climbing stand or a hang-on stand. It makes for some happy hunting. As you can tell, there's a lot of trees in this area, but the deer sign that I saw is right down here. So I wouldn't want to set my deer stand up way over there. I want to get as close a shot as I possibly can. And this tree is going to do it for me. As you can see, it is not a great tree to use your Loggy Bayou climbing stand with, but it's perfect for my hang-on light stand. And being that I am going to bow hunt, this stand is perfect because it has a higher seat. It gives me easy stand up and a lot of room to work out, so I will get that perfect shot. Now to set it up in this tree, what I'm going to use is a couple of my climbing steps. I'll put those on. Then I'll climb up the tree and draw my stand up and my weapon and I'll set the stand up and then draw my weapon up. Here at Loggy Bayou, we have a complete line of accessories to make your hunt even more enjoyable. Just call us at 1-800-544-8733. And happy hunting.
You've already made one wise decision with your purchase of the Loggy Bayou tree stand, but right now I want to show you some accessories that'll make your hunt safer, more comfortable, and more enjoyable.
First, let's take a look at our fall restraint belt with the easy slide clip. With other safety belts, you've probably experienced the problem of the belt wrapping around your body as you turn, causing immobility and discomfort. Our fall restraint belt alleviates this problem with the easy slide clip. The clip slides as you turn and allows you the freedom you need to position your body properly in order to take the shot you need, instead of having to wait for the animal to walk into the only shot you have. Other safety belts can also be bulky and hard to assemble or adjust, but our innovative buckle design allows easy use and adjustment from body to tree. Another problem you may have run into in the past is never having a place to put your bow. You either have to hold on to it for hours at a time or place it in an awkward position that doesn't allow you to respond quickly to a sudden situation. Well, with the Loggy Bayou bow holder, your bow will always be conveniently standing directly in front of you, which allows you to react quickly to any situation, leaving your hands free and creating optimum comfort. This bow holder is also easy to snap on with no screws or mounting brackets to hassle with.
How many times have you missed seeing a trophy buck because you were uncomfortable and left your stand early, or scared him away before you even had the chance to see him because your seat was wet or uncomfortable and you were fidgety in your stand? You can eliminate this problem by using this water-repellent seat cushion made with closed-cell foam and designed for optimum comfort for long periods of time.
Another convenient item is our tree stand accessory bag. With conventional bags, you always seem to be rummaging through everything in your bag to find the one thing you need. And when you finally find what you need, it's always at the bottom of everything else. This can be frustrating, noisy, and very inconvenient. Well, with the Loggy Bayou accessory bag, everything you need is in its proper place when you need it. This bag has various separate pockets with double zippers, which make things quick and easy to find. There's also a convenient light holder, so you won't get lost in the dark. And when not in use, this bag attaches easily under the seat out of your way, yet easily accessible, and makes for hands-free carrying. One of our newest and most innovative products is our hands-free light with the swivel head. With a standard flashlight, your hands are not free to perform the duties you need to. In order to free up our hands, we always seem to use our mouth to hold the light. Well, you can never seem to get the light to shine in the right place. With the hands-free light, all of these problems are solved. It comes with an adjustable clip for easy carrying and positioning on any part of your body or stand. The ingenious swivel head assures that the light is always shining brightly exactly where you need it to be. Remember, hunting is supposed to be fun, not a hassle. With our variety of Loggy Bayou accessories, you can make your hunting trip a more enjoyable one.
If you have any questions about the accessory line at Loggy Bayou, call us at 1-800-544-8733. And happy hunting.